It's honestly kind of our LOL.
It is. Oh my gosh, it's the
It's our
new
LOL.
LOL.
Anytime I like say something that I'm like a little like, should I have said that? I'll just add a clown.
Hello, clowns. This is our first podcast episode. So, Ami and I have been wanting to start a podcast for a very long time, and we're finally doing it. We're recording it into the new year, and TBD if it actually makes it out into the wild. But this is our like first attempt into actually recording something.
Welcome. I'm Ami. Glad to have you guys.
I'm Yu Chen, and if you're listening, you probably know one or both of us. But if you don't know us, we just wanted to welcome you and invite you into our little world. Let's start with like the origin of like why we wanted to do a podcast. I think you actually
Okay.
like wanted to start it. Like it was your idea.
Was it? I think I just wanted to start it because I love talking and I love talking into the abyss.
We FaceTime every day and we have been like discussing what the topic of like our podcast was going to be for just a very long time. Like we had like a listener notes app of what this would be about and we just like couldn't nail down a concept. But I think like we needed to ultimately stick true to like who we are as like individuals in our friendship. And so it just kind of became like the idea was just to like talk about things that we're interested in.
True to us, we are not interested in one thing, so we could not nail down a topic and we like to jump around. So that will be very much the vibe of this podcast, being clowns and talking about the flavor of the day.
We have like obviously we're very into pop culture, but we definitely have like our own spin and opinion on things. Like obviously we're both Asian Americans, we're both in our like mid 20s, working in startup-ish, corporate America-ish, a mix. So I think like
Working
we
in the world.
we're working girls. We're not just lottie-dying all day, just like ingesting media.
Even
So
though we wish we were.
we wish we were. So a lot of the stuff we're talking about would be like current events, pop culture, anything in our lives, anything related to like being in our 20s, living by ourselves, trying to make it out. How did we get to clown vibes?
We're both obsessed with the clown emoji. I think that we use it 70 times a day.
But how did we like start using the clown emoji? Because like I feel
That's
like
true. I don't know.
emojis have seasons. I think the clown emoji was like our emoji of 2022. Like it started
Yeah.
in 2022 and because the clown emoji has been around for like the dawn of
Ever.
time,
Yeah.
the dawn of emoji time. It obviously like
Hmm.
something sparked the use of the clown emoji that was more creative than what it was intended. Like it was intended to be a clown, but like who talks about clowns on a daily basis? But I think I started to use it to kind of describe myself as a way to like joke about certain things that I
Yeah.
did.
I agree. I feel like 2022 was a very clown year for us both.
And it just became like instead of using it as a noun, it just became like an adjective and like a verb to describe a lot of things that we were doing. Hey, like
Any
just
silly behaviors we were participating in.
like we mentioned earlier, I think we were just struggling to like even find a podcast name to really describe like who we are as individuals because we're so complex. But at the root of it and at the root of most people, I would say that we're all just clowns at the end of the day. And
We're
if you're
all
not
clowns trying to get through,
and if
trying
you're
to
not
get
a
through life.
clown, you should aspire to be a clown.
Yeah, what's life without clowns? What's life without jokes?
So expect a lot of like serious topics, but you know, us throwing in some clown moments into it and like a clown spin to it. If you could look up an urban dictionary right now or like write the definition of what it means to be like clowning, what would you say?
Clowning would be doing something silly or dumb that you know is dumb, but you're doing it anyway for the story, for the plot.
I think it's basically anything that like kind of doesn't go the way that you imagined it would go, but like instead of being upset about it, just like shrugging it off a little bit and just throwing it out there to the universe.
Yeah. It's honestly kind of our LOL.
It is. Oh my gosh, it's the
It's our
new
LOL.
LOL.
Anytime I like say something that I'm like a little like, should I have said that? I'll just add a clown.
I don't think I like use the clown emoji with really anybody except for you.
I use it in day-to-day life. I have
Have you
made
used it in
everyone
like
on my work team
okay, so it's on a work.
adopt the clown. Yeah, now I'll always react on Slack messages with the clown emoji, and everyone will also click the clown. And me and my coworker have a clown of the week award. Anytime we're annoyed, we'll just be like, this department is clown of the week.
Okay, but the thing about being a clown is sometimes you don't realize you're a clown in the moment until like you're removed from the situation and you're like, oh, I was such a clown, or like, oh, that was like
Yeah,
such a clown moment.
it's definitely a reflection post the situation.
With that, I wanted us to kind of like reflect on our like some of our biggest like clown moments in the recent past. So maybe like say like in the recent year. Based on
Okay.
like our definition, like what has been a clown moment for you?
Hmm. I think my most recent clown moment was me trying to get Spectrum to match T-Mobile home internet prices. And I called them so confidently, being like, yeah, are you trying to keep me as a customer or what? Like, you better lower my internet $15 a month, otherwise I'm leaving. And the person on the phone was like, okay, like, have a good life. Like, we don't give a shit.
I'm
You can
just
leave if
like
you want.
I'm just flabbergasted. Like, how did you even start this conversation? Like, did you go in hot or was it
No,
like
no, no. I was like,
professional?
no, I was just like, hey, do you guys match competitor prices? Because I can move to T-Mobile and it's much cheaper and they're running a promotion right now. Like, is there any kind of deal you can give me? And the lady was just like, no, we don't do any deals. They were like, T-Mobile sucks and everyone knows it. You're not switching. And she's right. I'm not.
That was like my second question for you. It was like, did you switch yet? Like, are you planning on switching?
My cousin works at T-Mobile and I texted him to be like, should I switch? And he was like, try to use your phone data for a little bit and see if it's good enough to power your apartment. And it's absolutely not. I can't even FaceTime you on it.
Honestly, I think like my T-Mobile data only works like 80%
Yeah.
of the
80
time.
is generous. 80 is so generous.
And what's like so clownish of us is like I think we only hang out with people who have T-Mobile. Like truthfully, truthfully, who do we know that isn't on T-Mobile?
Actually, like none of my Dallas friends are on T-Mobile and they're always like, what the heck is your service?
Oh,
And I'm just like, I'm poor. I don't know.
I know, right? So like when my internet is down, like no one else that I'm with is also like has good internet. So we're just all like stranded. Okay. My clown moment.
Okay,
Sometimes I
yeah.
think about this a lot is back a few months ago when I was contemplating joining a very early stage startup. I love how we're giggling about okay, because we kind of talked about what we would say. So like
And I remember you telling me the story in life so vividly because I think it's the craziest thing you've done.
it's crazy because I'm 28, I'm supposed to be smart, but I'm like not.
Okay, tell the story.
Okay, but the issue is so I'm like, oh, can I afford my own health insurance? I don't even know how much like health insurance costs without employers like contributing a percentage of it. So I remember telling my therapist this, and she's like, why don't you just look it up. So I decided to like
Yeah,
look
so
it up.
simple.
First of all, like the healthcare system, we all know is like fucked up and complicated, but there's like so many different websites. And so I just like go on like californiahealthcare.gov or something, a like government made like website. And they're like, oh, enter your information here for a quote. There's no other way. There's no other way to understand how much it costs. Like you
That's
have
how
to put
they
in a
get you
quote.
on everything now.
Fine, like because it's the government, maybe it's like not a scam and my information is safe. Little did I know after I put my information. Okay, I didn't know this at the time. I put my information in. I don't know if I even told you this part, but like the like website glitched or something. And so I didn't know if it like went through. So I went through the entire process again. I put my information in like I think at least 3 times because I thought I had bad internet.
You
And
wanted to be extra sure the scammers had your info.
and I did not know like what was going, like I was just like I need to like go through this process again, like just to make sure that I'm getting through it. I don't know. I think I gave up. I think I gave up because I didn't get the information that I wanted. The next day, thank God I have like sleep mode on my iPhone. So like I didn't start receiving notifications until 7:30. But when I woke up to like 10 missed calls. And then my phone just started ringing incessantly. And I just like wouldn't pick up because I was like, I don't know what's going on. And then my Gmail was filled, filled with so many like, oh, here's your quote. And I didn't click it. I was like, I just knew I like made a mistake.
Yeah.
And if you like look at like my missed call log, it was literally like I would scroll for like a whole minute and it'd just be like red, red, red. It was like this for like a good week.
Yeah,
I
I
was like
remember.
afraid.
Remember, I came to visit you and I was like, I saw this happen live. I like how you thought, oh, the government's going to keep my information safe when in reality, they're the like, they don't even know how
They're
to
the
use computers.
worst. Like their actual site is a scam. Like, should we talk about like our main topic, what we've been
Yes.
kind of like discussing on the side for like the past month?
The past literal month, which is, of course, what everyone else has been talking about, Harry and Meghan.
Okay, wait,
Because
but has everyone been talking about it? Or are we just in the minority here and like with the rest of the minority, we've just become obsessed with it?
that could very easily be it. The reason I feel like everyone is talking about it is because my TikTok is 95% Harry and Meghan videos. But obviously, that's just in my little bubble.
Right. I don't
So
think
who knows?
the minute like people start forgetting about them, they like release something new.
Totally. The minute their doc was like, nah, whatever, no one's really caring about it anymore, bam, interviews. Bam, book. Bam, more interviews.
What? Okay, so did you watch the Oprah interview a
No,
few
I
days
actually
back?
haven't watched any of the interviews. I've only watched the documentary and listened to a podcast about the book and then seen 70 TikTok clips about everything.
You're our resident expert. I
The
think us
royal
so I think
expert.
us combined, we have like a good grasp of the
Mhm.
situation through the lens of Twitter and TikTok.
Through no first person research.
Okay, but like why
Okay.
why are we talking about them as clowns?
The biggest clown moment that will haunt me the rest of my life is watching both Harry and Meghan type with their pointer fingers. I cannot unsee this. I think about it constantly. Like Harry, fine. You're like so privileged. Maybe you just like didn't spend a lot of time on the computer. Who knows? Meghan had a blog. Are you telling me for your entire blog you typed with your pointer fingers? Are you telling me that you went to college? Actually, she went to college pre having computers all the time, I actually texted my aunt to ask her, hey, when you were in college, did you use the
Really?
computer a lot? Yeah, I think it was like 1998 or something when she went. And my aunt was like, no, we didn't really use the computer like that much. Like they didn't have laptops really. So it was just like if you went to the library or whatever. So fine, we'll give you that, not in college. But come on, your blog, where was the efficiency in typing with your pointer finger?
It's so crazy because I like now that we're both 28, I feel so close to her age. But actually, I feel like we're still pretty far from
We're
her.
very far from her age. Yeah, yeah. We're
Um,
older, but like we have very different lived experiences with the like internet and social media.
okay, when you first told me that, I thought you meant like on their phone, they were using their like index fingers, and that would have sent me. I would have
Honestly,
been
that's like
like,
good for their
I'm
thumbs.
charging a royal fee for the fact that you're like doing this. Jail time.
You know what? Pointer on your on your phone, like I understand. You know, I have so many thumb problems from using
Yeah,
my
you do.
phone. I use my pointer fingers a lot these days on my phone. But on your computer, that's jail, immediate jail. Like,
Immediate
don't
jail.
do this again. Like, take some computer classes. Like, what are you doing?
Okay, my biggest clown moment for them is okay, I have two. When
Okay.
they call each other H,
Oh,
and I know a lot of
yes.
people got like the ick from
I
it.
immediately got the ick from it.
Okay, but when they were like showing the text messages to her dad too in the docu-series, and I think they signed it like M and H, and I'm just like, do you think you're the only person that has like a first name that starts with M?
An M. And also, she was already called Meg. What's the difference between M and Meg? Honestly, Meg is easier to say.
And
Harry
also,
is so easy to say. What's wrong with them? It's like their millennial pause.
okay,
You know
I
what I
think it,
mean? Like they just don't get it.
first of all, what is a millennial pause? I've been seeing this on TikTok, and I don't with this like Kim Kardashian video that I don't understand.
Interesting. Okay, it's when like apparently when millennials start taking videos, they pause for a second because like when you used to start the camcorder or something, like it didn't start immediately like things do now. So you're always like pausing to wait. And I have been noticing I do that too. And I always
Really?
try to not because I'm like, ugh. But not that I like record myself talking that often, but anytime I like try to like test this theory, I always wait a second.
Interesting. Maybe, okay, I don't think I am a true millennial. I'm a little homeless. I think I think we both are in the I think we're self-proclaimed millennials.
Totally. Yeah. Agreed.
And okay, but my theory is this whole like using your first letter thing is like such a millennial thing. I think it originated with
Mm.
Gossip Girl,
Oh yeah.
but like not us who were watching Gossip Girl too young, but like people who were actually of age, like the target demographic to like watch Gossip Girl. My second clown moment is when like Meghan was saying how at her wedding or her friend and her always say like love wins. And I'm just like, first of all, no, it doesn't.
It does not.
I'm not even being pessimistic here. It doesn't.
Oh my God. I blocked that out of my memory. I don't remember it.
Because it's traumatizing.
And
Because
she
like,
was married before, so for her to say love wins is confusing. So is
but
she
it's
saying
also
she
like
wasn't in love with the first person that she married?
I just don't understand what love wins means. Like, I get what they're trying to hint at, but it's like, what are you winning? And like, what was the
Yeah.
competition? And what was the
Yeah.
conflict? Were people against you guys getting married? Because it's like you got the consent of the Queen of England. Like, what are you winning? And who's losing?
That's true. I feel like they think like, oh, we had it was a really uphill battle for us to get married because of the media. And I'm like, I don't think that it was any different for any of the other people. And you did get to get married.
And you got a big ass wedding.
What really just confounds me is how they were both like so unprepared when this is just history repeating itself over and over again. To a
Okay.
more severe degree, for sure. But the way they make it seem in the documentaries, like they were just like, oh, it's going to be rainbows and sunshine. Obviously, it wasn't.
Yeah, it wasn't. And I feel like that is where their story was like probably really tough for them. I mean,
Yeah,
I get the like whole media thing. I think, first of all, we just all need to be a little bit less obsessed with the royals. I
oh,
know it's like
totally.
ingrained in like British culture and we're like speaking about it from an American perspective, but like, you guys, we need to like abolish the monarchy. Like, enough is enough. And it's
I think it's very fair that us as Americans are so like into it right now because it's just like celebrity gossip for us. Like we don't give a shit about like the
it is.
monarchy or the institution or whatever. We just think it's funny. But for British people who take it seriously, I'm like, you're a clown.
Your For You page has been destroyed by the Harry and Meghan stuff. What has been like the biggest controversies?
Okay. So I have somehow ended up on the side that like doesn't like them. And I don't know how I ended up on the side with them. Very
I'm on that
neutral.
side. I'm on that side
Yeah.
too.
I don't love them. I don't hate them. I just am bored and so I'm consuming their content. So many videos that I've seen are just debunking all of the inconsistencies between the memoir, the interviews, like all of the things. And some of the craziest ones I've seen are like Meghan lied about her miscarriage. Like she never had a miscarriage because she also wrote a New York Times like opinion piece on her
Mhm.
miscarriage. And apparently the facts between that one, the docu-series, and his book were like all tell the story of like when it happened differently. Like in one of them, she's like holding her baby. In the docu-series, she's like with her friend, like her friend had come over. And I'm sure Archie was like there, but I don't know
Mhm.
if she was like holding him or whatever. In the book, it's something else. While I definitely don't think she lied about having a miscarriage, that's really extreme. There definitely did not fact check or corroborate between anything. Oh, and another one is like in the Oprah interview, they said they had a private ceremony right before the wedding, like just for them. And then they never talked about it again, presumably because they got in trouble for saying it. And now it's like nowhere. And like, I'm not sure if someone asked them directly about it,
I think the
but
firm shut them up.
yeah, yeah,
This is this whole thing is like just such a clown situation. Like, first of all, the like media clowns, the royal
clowns,
like family like institution, like everyone in it, clowns. The like people, us like consuming it, just clowns. And we're
clowns.
just all like adding to the fire. And I don't like fault them for wanting to remove themselves from the situation. And like, I totally get like why they wanted to like step back.
Yeah,
But then it's like profiting from this whole story and like making it seem like the reason you're doing it is to set the truth
oh
free.
yeah, 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 yeah.
It's also just like, what satisfaction are you getting from it? And what money are you
Yeah,
getting from it as well? Because I feel like at the end of the day, it is mostly about
for the
money. Like,
money. Agreed. I think that that's like the key for most of this is they always say they're doing it for X reason, but we're not dumb and we know the true motivations behind it are not what they're saying. And it would just be much better if they were like, yeah, we need money. That's less nefarious than like you saying, oh, it's because we want the people to know. It's like at this point, we know. At this point,
at
we
this
don't need
point,
more.
everyone knows. Archie
Yeah.
knows. Okay, I will say one part of this whole like saga, I think really like inspired us is that like whole dinner party scene when she's like, my friend always asks every like guest like what's their word of the year, and Meghan said something like truth, which I think only she would
Found.
say because like can you imagine if like mine was truth? I really resonated with that. I like the idea of that. I decided, and I think like for some reason, I never have an original thought because everyone seems to be talking about the word of the year. And I thought I was a pioneer of this concept.
Clearly, it was Meghan Markle. Everyone just watched the docuseries and was like, "This is a good idea." It's essentially setting an intention for the year,
Yeah, it's
which is
setting an
never a
intention.
bad idea. So,
I like posed the question to you a while ago, but
mhm.
what is like your word of the year?
My word of the year is definitely unbothered, which is my word of every year because I never achieve it. But no, actually, I'm changing my mind. My word of the year is neutrality. I think unbothered is like nothing is phasing you and you're just like living in your peace. I think neutrality is a little bit like easier than that, where it's like it's fine if things are bothering you, but you are acting like neutrally to everything. You're not giving into like your bad emotions. You're not giving into like your super crazy good emotions. You're just living in a very neutral state where it's balanced, if that makes sense.
I think neutrality is such like a journey
Yeah,
because I
totally.
don't know if you like sometimes think back to like how you acted in high school. I was like the most bothered person in high
Most
school.
bothered. Yeah. At the littlest thing, I'd be like, I can't believe you did that. Like, how dare you?
And I don't know if it's because of just like the high school environment and like the pressure. I don't know. At least like I came from like a high pressure
Mm-hmm.
situation growing up. And like it just like all added together. But I just feel like it took me years and I'm still not even there yet. Like, but it takes years to like start to become more neutral. And I think
Yeah.
like females in general struggle with this a lot more than males. Like, I don't know if
Mm-hmm.
you know anyone, but like, I don't know of any of my male friends that are like as bothered as like
No,
most of my female friends.
none. And you know why? It's because from a young age, they were taught to be unbothered, right? Like them showing emotion was like not allowed by society, right? So they've been practicing being unbothered their whole lives. The thing is, we don't know what's bothering them.
But it's not unbotheredness, it's neutrality because they probably are
Yeah,
bothered.
yeah, exactly. I think they are bothered and they do get bothered, but they don't let their feelings like impact them as much as we do because we've always been allowed to express our feelings. And it's
Exactly.
expected for us to be very volatile. What is your word for 2023?
Okay, my word for 2023. And I know we like talked about this extensively, and I talked about it with a couple of people, but it's stability. And for like, I think quite a few reasons. One is like last year, I made a big move from New York to San Francisco, and that a lot of like last year was just, or I guess I moved in 2021. And so 20 at the end of
But
2021. So
towards the
20,
end, yeah.
yeah. So like 2022 was just like a big adjustment period for me in terms of like building new friendships, in like a platonic way and non-platonic ways. But anyways, that has led to a lot of like ups and downs. Like the ups were great, the downs were like just terrible.
Yeah.
The most unstable part of 2022 was when I unexpectedly did not have a job at the end of the year. I feel like this is like a teaser, but we'll definitely talk about it in another episode because I feel like this like saga is coming to a close.
It's
But
definitely coming to a close.
I had set this intention at the end of last year, but I just think that with like all the new changes, I think for this year, stability is really important to me because I want to be able to like enjoy the like good work that I've made in making SF my home and like
Mhm.
enjoying the relationships and friendships that I've made. All of that's to say is that I hope I have a very stable year where there's not a ton of like ups and downs, and which will allow me to like enjoy my life a little bit more and maybe focus on my personal life. So far, it has not been stable, but I feel like every unstable moment has made me like do certain things to get to a point of stability. So it's not like
Yeah.
I'm just out here rocking the boat. I'm like
You're
building
working towards
yeah.
stability.
I just think for both of us, it's going to be a really good year because it
Yeah.
has to be. It
It
legit
literally
has
has
to
to
be.
be.
I was just thinking, like, what are the similarities between our two words? Because
Oh
I think
yeah.
they are
They're
kind of
very similar.
similar.
Yeah, I think so too. I think in a way, I feel like yours is a little bit more like in the physical and mine's more
Yes,
in the
I was
mental.
literally just thinking that it's more
Yeah.
tangible.
Yeah.
Honestly, I would love to be in a point in my life where I'm just like, my word of the year is chaos. Remember, remember
We
when you
tried to
tried,
do that and it
you
was so
tried to
bad. Yeah,
make
I tried
it
to,
that for the summer and it just like
and it was truly
flopped.
chaos.
It's like we couldn't handle the chaos.
It was true. Okay, that was actually my clown moment of the year when I was like, do it for the plot to everything. And I led myself into such a deep spiral that is still going on.
There are certain people who can do it for the plot. I feel like where we are right now in our lives, we
No,
cannot.
no.
I feel like I'm being handed the plot, like slapped, punched in the face, like plot. And I'm just like, what? I thought we were going to the end credits here. Like, where's the intermission?
We did it. We've made it to the end. If
Okay,
you're still here, we love you.
that was all that we had planned for today, but we definitely have some thoughts for like our future episodes. If you're still here, like thank you so much. And
Follow us on Instagram at Clown Vibes Podcast. We also have an email if you would like to email us, clownvibespodcast@gmail. We have no other social media yet. We're working on it.
if you have
We
ideas
may
for
not even
future
get one.
podcasts, yeah.
Yeah. If you want to be a guest, hit us up.
If you want to
If your
just clown
dream was to be
around,
on yeah, we're here for the laughs, for the clown moments.
and we'll see you guys in the next episode.